Praise the Lord, children. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Hope that you are fine in this situation at your home. Always praise the Lord, children. Why you have to praise the Lord? Realize how blessed you are. You are having a good family, good parents, good friends, and a very good physique you are having. And also you are gaining knowledge through the education. Even in the quarantine time, you are gaining knowledge through the education, and God blessed you with everything. So realize how blessed you are. Welcome to the class, children. This is a social class. We are learning History Unit 5. Before entering into today's class, let's recall what we learned so far. History Unit 5, Educational Development in India. Let's recap what we have learned in the previous class. Previous class, we started with knowledge is the third eye of man, and education is a continuous process of acquiring and sharing of knowledge, skills and values. And education is recognized as the foundation of a progressive society. Then education in ancient India, the historical sources provide the information that from the very early times, the tradition of teaching and learning had been vague in India. And the concept of education is originated from Vedas, which is a Sanskrit word, and it means to know or knowledge. And it emphasized on humility, truthfulness, discipline, self-reliance, and respect for all creations. Then sources of learning, some scholars like Panini, Aryabhatta, Katyayana, and Patanjali, their writings, and the medical treatise by Charaka and Sushruta, also the sources of learning. And they taught disciplines on history, logic, interpretation, polity, agriculture, trade, commerce, animal husbandry, archery, etc. And physical education also given important at that time. And the gurus and the students, they worked together. And Gurukulas, the ancient system of education, the important places of learning were Gurukulas, temples and Padasalas. In that temple played a vital role in imparting education and served as a center of learning. And later on, some of the vigaras and universities came up. And the main objectives of learning was complete learning, leading a disciplined life and realizing one's inner potential. And many monasteries, vigaras and universities came up during the later education, ancient period. And it attracts the students from other countries also, China, Korea, Tibet, Burma, Java, Nepal, all the other distant countries which are surrounding India. The students are coming to our vigaras and universities. And two important universities are Taxila and Nalanda. And some other important universities are Vikramshila, Vallabhi, Utendapuri, Jagatala, etc. And Taxila and Nalanda were approved by UNESCO as the World Heritage Site. And what was the book written by Chanakya, Arthasastra? Where did he compile that? He composed that at Taxila University. And who discovered the ruins of Taxila University? An archaeologist named Alexander Cunningham. And what was the life of people in the Gurukulas? Especially the teacher's role was important. Teachers had a complete autonomy in all aspects, from the selection of students to finishing the syllabus. And also when was the course finished? When the teacher was satisfied with the performance of the student, then only the course was finished. And the primary methods of teaching were debate and discussions. Even king came to visit the Gurukulas and other vigaras and universities. He was more interested in participating in the debates and discussions among the students and the peer group students and sometimes students and also the gurus on the other side. So this class we are going to learn education in medieval India. Education in medieval India. It took the education to the next stage in India. A good development happened during this time. Medieval period witnessed a radical transformation with the introduction of Muslim education in India, because many Islam traders from the neighboring Islam countries, tradesmen and invaders, both came to India and invaded many places in India. The tradesmen and the invaders, they brought their own culture and intermingled with the people of the country. The religion, society and culture, education, all experienced a new perspective during this time. There's a complete change, a new change in the tradition, in society, in culture, and also in the education was brought during the medieval period because of the intermingling of the Indian culture with the Islam culture. But during the Muslim period, the aim of education was illumination and extension of knowledge. Illumination means clarification, that is clearing, having a clear idea. That is called as the illumination and extension of knowledge. In 11th century, the Muslim rulers, they established elementary and secondary schools and they developed the fresh aspect during the period. There was excellent interaction between the Indian and Islamic tradition in all the fields like theology, religion, philosophy, fine arts, painting, architecture, mathematics, medicine, and in astronomy, all the fields, science and maths, everything. They developed a lot by the interaction between the Indian and the Islamic tradition. So what is the main aim of the Muslim period? Education, illumination and extension of knowledge. What are the schools opened by the Muslim rulers? Elementary school and secondary school. You know what are elementary school? That is primary school up to 5th standard. And secondary school mean up to 10th standard, they are known as the secondary school. These schools are opened in the 11th century. Before the arrival of the Muslims in India, there was an education system in India. But the Muslim rulers, they promoted urban education and they established libraries, literary societies, and two important school systems, that is primary schools and secondary schools were already I told you that established in 11th century and a special name was given to them, that is primary schools were called by the name Maktabs. Maktabs means primary schools and madrasas means secondary schools. Till the Islamic people, they are learning their prayers and they are learning the Quran at madrasas. Islam people all know about that, son. So the maktabs and madrasas, which are known as primary schools and secondary school respectively, were started to teach the Islamic prayers, reading, writing, and also to develop the scholars, Islamic scholars. Several madrasas were set up by the sultans and the nobles. Main objective of this madrasa was to train and educate the scholars because they would be eligible for the civil service. Civil service means doing service to the society. And do you know who was the first ruler to establish a madrasa? Iltutmish. Iltutmish was the first ruler to establish madrasa, and where did he establish that is Delhi. And gradually many madrasas came into existence. Look at the picture of a madrasa and the maktab. The system of education in medieval India was under the control of ulemas. So during those days, education was controlled by ulemas and various subjects were taught by them. Mainly the education was related to the religious training by the Islam people. They gave more importance for learning about the religion. Apart from that, various subjects such as medicine, Arabic literature, grammar, philosophy were also taught to the people. Who controlled the education system? Ulemas. He was the religious head because the education was completely based on the religious training. And what are the subjects taught to the people? Arabic literature, grammar, philosophy, etc. And according to our history, it states that the Arab and the Central Asian people, they brought Muslim education models to India, both in the medieval time and also in the early modern periods. And women education in India was prevalent during the medieval period. So we should be very happy about that because women were considered as one of equal to men in learning education even during the medieval period, which was ruled by the Islam people. Raja Jai Singh of Jaipur, he encouraged learning of scientific subjects. Who encouraged learning of scientific subjects? It's Raja Jai Singh of Jaipur, a Hindu ruler who ruled Jaipur. And many private institutions also came up at that time, especially two madrasas were very famous. One is Madrasa of Ghazuddin in Delhi. Madrasa of Ghazuddin in Delhi. And another one is Madrasa of Maulana Sadruddin in Shahjahanabad. Maulana Sadruddin's Madrasa at Shahjahanabad and Ghazuddin Madrasa at Delhi. Both were very famous madrasas which were run by the individuals. In the later medieval era, British came to India. So Christian missionaries arrived in India. Later medieval, who came to India? British people came to India and introduced English education in India. That is, the Western education was introduced in India with the coming of the European missionaries. And Western education made firm advances in the country. Various universities, thousands of colleges were formed, and the popularity of education also increased at that time. So the medieval period, it founded many religious monasteries and also took up the cause of education. An important monastery at Srirangam, where one of the famous mathematicians, Sri Ramanuja, he had his studies there. At Ahobila Mutt in Srirangam. Mutt means that is monastery. Where is Ahobila Mutt located? It locates in Srirangam. Who was the famous student of that Ahobila Mutt? Sri Ramanuja. And apart from this, many Jain Pallis, Jainism people, they had Pallis for improving the education, and also Buddhist Vigaras. Both played a vital role in educating people wherever they existed. So wherever the Jain Pallis were there and Buddhist Vigaras were there, in all that places they played a vital role in educating the people. And they had large libraries of books in all branches of learning. Yes, still today in school we are having libraries, college we are having libraries, because books are the important source of knowledge to all of us. So these Jain Pallis and Buddhist Vigaras, there were large library of will consist of books in all branches of learning to improve the education among the people. So people, you must have the habit of learning a lot, reading a lot. Reading makes you gain lot of knowledge. That's why in our school also, our correspondent ma'am insisted you to use the library books. You must have the practice of using the library books. Sri Ramanuja was a famous mathematician, had his education in Ahobila. This is a picture of Jain Pallis, the picture of Ahobila, and the image of Arabic literature, and some medieval characteristics, medieval education characteristics are. It was a practical education, because Muslim people, they did not believe in rebirth. So they believed that the aim of education was to prepare men for the life through the practical education. And subjects like geography, history, military, everything they took as in a education. And the maktabs and other places where the education was taught, they provide free fooding and lodging to the people. Children, this class we learnt education in medieval India, which made a radical transformation in introduction of Muslim education in India, and its main aim was illumination and extension of education. Illumination means clarification, and maktabs and madrasas were opened by 11th century. What do they mean? Maktabs mean primary schools, and madrasas mean secondary schools. And there was a great, excellent interaction between the Indian and Islamic tradition in all the fields of knowledge like theology, religion, philosophy, fine arts, painting, architecture, mathematics, medicine, and even in astronomy. So many madrasas and maktabs came up. The first madrasa was established at Delhi by the great ruler Iltutmish. And the Arabic literature and in grammar and philosophy are also taught there. And the education system was controlled by ulemas. And women education also prevalent in that at that time. Raja Jai Singh of Jaipur, he encouraged learning of the scientific knowledges. And in the later medieval period, who came to India? The British came to India, and they introduced many European missionaries also came with them, and they insisted on Western education. So many various universities and thousands of colleges were opened along with them. All the religious people also played a vital role in improving the education. That is the Ahobila Mutt at Srirangam, which was the place for Ramanuja, and Jain Pallis and Buddhist Vigaras were played a vital role in educating the people. The next class we will learn about modern education system in India. Dear children, you can learn something new every day if you listen. Yes, children, listen the class properly, gain the knowledge through that. Wish you all success in your life. Listening makes you learn something. Okay? Thank you, children. Wish you all success. God bless you always. Bye, children.